We don't know nobody who was ever afraid of polio except for the goddamn government, nigga. And once again, these niggas lie all day, nigga. These niggas lie all day. Remember this nigga Edward Snowden was trying to tell people that they fucking spying on you through your phone and the shit should be illegal, and the government officials were saying this nigga should be killed? Remember that? These are the same people that's giving you this information. The same people remember disinformation, right? We talk about disinformation. The niggas who wanted a person dead for informing the citizens about something the government was doing is now the same people giving you information, not verifying anything, not giving you any details, and turn around saying anybody who's saying anything else is the real niggas giving disinformation.
You all think I'm going to say, shit, all this anesthesia. Motherfucking hurricanes came through, but it wasn't no FEMA. Goddamn, they left us in the water by the dirt, dust. Niggas never really gave a fuck.
Niggas hit you with that anesthesia, put you to sleep, bruh. You know it's the killer nigga woods where we creep, bruh. You know that my ninja they good push like a Jeep, bruh. Catching niggas for days, no rest, math the reaper. Muscle memory in my cells, clap like a sleeper. Swim through money, I need a sail, these rivers deeper. My niggas got bars, no better when shit go heater. Hammers banging, we bleed, your bodies everywhere, FEMA.
What's up? It's Lord Mav. I'm over here doing this real nigga news, and I'm back over here to fuck with these clips. I told y'all niggas I was coming back with the clips. So right now what I got to talk about is this Ottawa situation. Protesters. You know what I'm saying? The COVID situation. Little ass kids. This is what I'm here to talk about. I really only have two things to talk about. I have two videos. Both of them are on the Canada situation. And then I have one video on the little ass kids getting vaccines, right? I had a video on New York City protests, but somehow that video got lost, and I'm not looking for it again. So we just gonna proceed with this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch the video, I'm gonna talk shit about it while I'm watching it, and then I'll just add in the little things in post, basically. So the first video is Ottawa declares state of emergency as vaccine protests continue. I'm quite sure this is on Bloomberg News or Bloomberg Finance. It's on one of these Bloomberg ass sites. So I'm gonna watch it.
Canada's capital city remains under a state of emergency as police tried to rein in protests against vaccine mandates and COVID restrictions. Joining us now from in front of the West Block of Parliament in Ottawa is CTV News' Annie Bergeron-Oliver. Annie, thanks very much for your time on another busy day in Ottawa. What can you tell us about what's been happening on the ground?
All right, the first thing I got to talk about is basically these niggas talking about they trying to rein in protesters, right? You even hear it you got to listen to the words that these niggas are saying, because all of this shit matters, right? This nigga just said they trying to rein in protesters. He didn't say that they was violent protesters. He didn't say that they was doing anything wrong. He just talking about protesters. The police right now are against the protesters. And we already know that because anytime we see anybody protesting, especially in America, what's said about it is that they putting people's lives in danger by being together. You know, you have something serious to fear when the country itself is saying that people being together is dangerous and shouldn't happen. Because we know nobody can do anything about a nation committing atrocities if they trying to go about it by themselves, if you understand what I'm saying.
Hi, John. Yeah, well, we're now at 11 days since protesters first arrived. Initially, 11 days ago, there were about 3,000 trucks and an estimated 16,000 protesters. Those numbers have gone down significantly. This weekend, police said there were about 5,000 protesters and roughly 1,000 trucks. As you can tell behind me, there is still gridlock in the downtown core. This city is normally extremely bustling now. There are trucks that are parked all along the side. Police have begun increasing enforcement, issuing a lot more tickets. At the very beginning of this, they were saying they were avoiding towing and ticketing. They didn't want to raise the level of violence.
That's another red flag, right? You got to pay attention to these niggas' words. She just said that the police weren't issuing tickets or towing because they didn't want to raise the level of violence. For you to say something is going to raise the level of violence, then that kind of puts it in people's minds that there was some sort of violence to begin with. Yet we're not gonna hear anything about violence. That's a weird way to put that. They wasn't issuing out tickets or towing people away, I would say, for the fact that it would cause trouble. It might start some violence when people are trying to peacefully protest and you trying to tow their cars away. Here's the real problem. People are in their cars because they don't want to be labeled as people who don't care about COVID and the people that's dying. Here's what would have happened if they didn't come with their cars. You would have been looking at them, the government, every piece of media would have looked at these people and said, hey, y'all are together, y'all are standing right next to each other protesting, and y'all are putting people's lives in danger. So to go around that little statement, these niggas showed up in their cars. Now, if you're trying to stop niggas from being shoulder to shoulder protesting, which is something that this is the only thing we've been allowed to do. We can't fight the government because niggas gonna be looked at as terrorists, right? We can't physically walk up in somebody's space. The cops, right? Not the cops, but the political people. We can't run up in their space and try to give them niggas our grievances because they not letting that shit happen. They not gonna let that happen. So this is the best option. So now you giving people tickets and you pondering towing them away because they protesting in the best way that they know how to not anger the goddamn sheep of every country right now. Come on. And it's about to get worse. Listen.
That has since changed. They said they are now going to be ensuring that there is a zero tolerance policy for illegal activity.
It's going to be a zero tolerance policy for illegal activity. Niggas is protesting. How is protesting illegal activity? If the problem is the cause, then don't criticize niggas when they go out to protest, right? Because what y'all don't want is niggas getting their guns and running up in any government building. That's what y'all don't want. And if y'all tell the people who's very angry about what the hell is going on with every country right now, or every country that we hear spoken about on mainstream media, that's the next step, son. And keep in mind, it's Spotify. This shit going on Spotify. So now I gotta say I'm not trying to cause nobody to start no violence. I'm not trying to get people to believe a certain thing, whatever the hell blocks you want to put on me. All I'm saying is that if you're gonna try to stop niggas from protesting, the next step is to get violent, and that's exactly what y'all niggas is doing. It's not illegal to protest. If you don't want niggas blocking the street with their cars nonstop, then what you have to do is not criticize niggas once they take their car home and come back just with their body and some signs, nigga. They come back with the body and some signs, then y'all niggas talking about they killing people. But when they got their cars, you ain't worried about nothing about the killing people no more. Now it's about we can't get through this street. We need to get up this block and y'all blocking everything. So what, nigga? That's the point of protesting. Y'all don't want niggas running up in government buildings, so the only thing the people have been left with is to stand out in the street like a bunch of dickheads and cause inconveniences for people, right? I don't even believe that protesting is a good way to get anything solved, but that's the only thing niggas been left with. Here's the more.
And one of the things they've really been doing is cracking down on fuel. Over the last few days, what you've seen is pickup trucks going through the streets with their backs filled with jerry cans of fuel. We've even seen an oil tanker with fuel. And this, to put it into context, this is like Pennsylvania Avenue right outside the White House. This is literally a stone's throw from Parliament where elected officials are. This has been going on for 11 days. Now the city of Ottawa is in a state of emergency.
So then right there, what you see is the lack of information. Remember, I keep talking about these niggas don't really say anything. This nigga, first of all, I don't trust nobody with chiclet teeth and shit. That's the first off. I had to get that shit off my chest because I was going to say it at some point. I don't trust nobody with no big ass chiclet teeth. She looked funny to me. But the second point is that, like that shit was a point. The second point is that she said they cracking down on illegal activity. Her next statement was about the gas. It's not illegal to have gas and pass it out. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? These niggas need gas. For them to keep the protest going, because the protest has to go, when you think about it, the protest has to keep going until something changes. The biggest problem is that they don't give a fuck about what people are talking about. It doesn't matter what the people are actually saying. The news is going to keep saying everybody got a vaccine, everybody want a vaccine. It's only a handful of people that don't, right? But how do these problems start? How do these problems arise? These niggas just said there's 5,000 people out there. Or at least or at least 1,000. It's something. It's in the thousands. You run it back and you hear it for yourself. It's in the thousands. How would that be possible if everybody believed in this shit as they want you to believe? She talking about illegal activity and then move on to gas. And the other problem I found is that why the hell is she talking so fast? You know, somebody get on the news and they speak all fast and they make you think that it's some shit really going on, like something is a real problem. She's so damn flustered. Why niggas ain't tell her to calm her ass down? What, she been out there for a full 11 days covering this shit? She talking like she need to take a nap or something. She trying to get through this sentence so fast. Why don't you slow down, son? Slow down a little bit. Let's be calm about the situation. We can't do that because then y'all realize how crazy it is for a government to be sending cops in to disperse protests when niggas is talking about something real like government mandates. That's all it is. And then by the end of it, after she say basically nothing, all she said was the cops didn't want to increase violence. The police are cutting down or cracking down on illegal activity. People was passing out gas cans or they giving out gas so people don't run out of gas, right? This is like if Pennsylvania Avenue had a bunch of cars, because this is a government building, right? Of course, taking it back to that, because these niggas are so much more important than regular people, right? And then by the end of it say, now Ottawa's in a state of emergency. There was nothing in between, right? I don't know if Ottawa is because Canada is a country. I don't know if Ottawa is a state or a city, nigga. All I'm saying is, you talking about a bunch of cars sitting on a block and a state of emergency. I don't quite understand how we got to that point. You didn't explain anything and you ran through your entire whatever we gonna call it, a segment, whatever the hell this shit is. You ran through it. She took like 3 breaths and said like 90 words, son. She said all that shit too damn fast. Nothing connects. How you just gonna move on from it's cars in the street? They ain't even being violent, but we don't want to raise the level of violence. We giving out tickets. These niggas got gas. We trying to cut down on illegal activity. It's a state of an emergency. The fuck? What are you talking about, man? And this is why I don't watch the news. Because that's what it always boil you down to. What the hell are you talking about? This chiclet teeth ass nigga. Let's see what the next person got to say.
For more on the story, joining us also now from Ottawa is Bloomberg's Brian Platt. Brian, what are the demands of these protesters, or what are the concerns? Is it strictly around, vaccine mandates and mask wearing, or is it more like the yellow vest protests that we saw in France, where they have a broader range of ideas?
I think it's more like the yellow vest movement.
Now, I don't know what these niggas is about to get into, right? But my problem is, I always got a problem with something. How the fuck they got an actual correspondent sitting out there with, if she's even out there, because the games these niggas play. How you got an actual correspondent sitting out there, but you asking a nigga in an office from Bloomberg, nigga, which I'm quite sure is an American goddamn company, nigga. Are you telling me you in Canada and you got a Canadian correspondent sitting right outside where the protesters are, and you gonna throw the bitch to a nigga working for Bloomberg to tell us what these niggas is demanding? How about you tell a correspondent to walk down the damn block and go talk to somebody? I don't want to hear nothing from these random ass niggas in some building somewhere trying to tell me about the demands of people who they don't even fucking agree with. I want to hear it from the people's mouth. I want to hear that shit from the people's mouth, son. This shit don't make no damn sense.
I mean, it depends on who you're talking to, because I don't think that everybody here is reporting just to one, core organizing group. There is one group of people who claims to be the organizers, and they say they want an end to all mandates, all health restrictions. So that's not just talking about vaccine mandates. We're not just talking about the border measure on truckers. We're talking about all COVID-19 mandates, including mask mandates, including everything.
This nigga just said we talking about all COVID-19 mandates, including vaccine mandates, including everything. You see how these niggas just say words and then there's absolutely nothing. This is the nigga that This is the nigga that we just called on to tell us the demands. This nigga said one thing. He said one thing. This nigga, I don't even know what the yellow jacket situation is. Cause of course they gonna say some words and not even explain it. The nigga asked for one definitive statement, right? He said, is this about COVID-19 vaccines and mask mandates? Or is it the yellow jacket situation where the demands are broader? This nigga said, I think it's more of a yellow jacket situation because there's multiple groups out there and we don't even know what they asking for. They talking about taking away all mandates for COVID-19, including mask mandates, vaccine mandates, and everything. The fuck are you see this the second time I'm saying this shit already. What the fuck are you talking about? Everything. How you gonna say the demands are broader, but you can't name nothing other than COVID-19 my nigga, COVID-19 mandates. That's what that nigga asked. He asked, was it about the COVID-19 mandates or is it something broader? You said it's something broader and then said they mad about the COVID-19 vaccine mandates and everything else. Let's see if he explained himself. I already know he ain't gonna do it. Protest persists in Canada. Reaction to trucker vaccine mandate when crossing border morphed into rally against COVID restrictions. Ottawa mayor has now declared state of emergency. What has to go on for you to declare a state of emergency? Nobody's fighting, nobody's rioting, nobody's looting, nobody's committing crimes, but there's a state of an emergency. They not saying anything about this shit. It's so fucking frustrating.
Another group that helped organize the convoy here, wrote a bizarre memorandum of understanding saying they want a provisional government led by the Governor General, who's the Queen's representative in Canada. I mean, a totally unworkable demand, right?
You see how this nigga just threw in something random as hell? I have no idea what that nigga talking about, but I guarantee you if I look this shit up, they found one person who said that. I guarantee you, my nigga, because you see how this nigga talk about the vaccine mandates and then he skipped over that to go straight to some bullshit that some random person said. Once again, what the fuck are these niggas talking about?
So one reason among many why politicians here say they can't just sit down and negotiate their way out of this is because the demands are not reasonable, in part because if you just end all restrictions, well, a lot of those restrictions are actually imposed by provincial governments, not even the federal government. So it's not even that they can get all that done just by federal politicians here, even if they were inclined to.
All right, that's the end of the video. I don't know what the fuck he talking about because I'm from America, nigga. The federal government is supposed to be more important than all the provisional governments, dummy. Like, I don't know if Canada works where if you win, what's the equivalent of a damn state in Canada, whatever they say, that shit matters more than what the federal government say. That doesn't make any sense, son. This nigga just, you see what these niggas do? He brought up a goddamn point. He brought up a demand that I'm quite sure isn't even a major demand with most of the people there. This nigga chose the dumbest goddamn demand, right? The one thing that can't be done. That's what he said. It's a unachievable demand. He took that one and he decided to fully explain that demand. But when he was talking about the COVID-19 mandates, right? He just said they want to answer COVID-19 mandates and everything. I don't quite understand how niggas solving the problem in the federal government wouldn't change the laws for the rest of the government if federal is the entire government, nigga. What does that even mean, son? The fuck does that even mean? The shit means nothing. These niggas is just talking. Their entire purpose is to take a real issue and make it seem like the people who mad at anything are silly. That's the whole point. My last point with this shit is that it'll be a simple fix, right? If the federal government makes it illegal to mandate a citizen to do some shit, right? To do some shit that should ultimately be their choice. This COVID-19 shit with the vaccines and the motherfucking masks, it's a mandate. It's the same thing, like, I don't care how you take this shit. That's just like if the government is like, today, hey, yo, crack good for you. Crack gonna make all your problems go away. If you don't take this crack, you losing your job. I don't want that crack, nigga. I don't want that crack. And for Spotify, dumbass, No, I'm not up here saying the COVID-19 vaccine is crack. I'm not saying that because y'all niggas is dumb, y'all niggas is silly, and y'all niggas be overreaching with y'all new ass rules that nobody agreed to. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing rules in this bitch. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that something that the government mandates that a person doesn't necessarily believe in, that situation should never happen. There should never be a time where a country says this is what you have to take in your body, right? In your body. There's serious fucking what do you call it? There's serious concerns about this mask mandate shit, right? But if you was to come up and use to say to a person, if you put a mask over your face, you're not getting the same level of oxygen into your body, and that could have adverse effects in the future. They're gonna be like, oh, you so stupid, you just need to put a mask on. I don't know what's wrong with you. It's just a little mask. What, you telling me you can't breathe? No, said, nigga, if you listen to what I just said, I said when you put the mask on, it's down in your ability to intake oxygen at the same level that you know what I'm saying? Nigga, if you were supposed to block the oxygen from coming in, you would have been born with a mask on your face. You know what I'm saying? You would have been born with something like that. You're supposed to have your mouth open and your nose open to intake oxygen, dummy. You can't even tell niggas this shit. You can't even say logical things to these niggas because most niggas is watching shit like this, just parroting everything that they saying. But what are they saying? They not saying anything. They not saying anything. I don't even know the demands of these people. I just sat here and watched I talk too much, but I just sat here and watched a 3-minute video about 5,000 people protesting one thing, and the news told me not one thing that they actually want. They told me one bullshit demand that don't even make sense. Talking about changing the whole government. Nigga. I don't understand that shit because what y'all niggas was just talking about don't make sense. It don't make sense. Let's go to the next one because I'm taking too long with this shit. I'm gonna have to edit the fuck out that. The next one I'ma just do it, right? Let's go to this one. Ambassador Bridge remains shut down as Canadians protest COVID-19 vaccine mandates.
Well, good morning. The Ambassador Bridge is touted as the nation's busiest international border crossing, and millions of trucks pass through the Ambassador Bridge every single year. And this morning, it is closed after protests on the Canadian side. Supporters of the Freedom Convoy zeroed in on the Detroit-Windsor border last night. The protest happening on the Ontario side where supporters of the Freedom Convoy protested against Canada's COVID-19 mandates and testing rules. The traffic jam stretching all the way onto I-75 in the United States and miles into Canada. In a tweet, Windsor police telling travelers to use the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel and commercial truckers to use the Blue Water Bridge in Sarnia and Port Huron. The Freedom Convoy started in Ottawa 2 weeks ago. There, hundreds of truckers are blocking the streets. Canada's capital city has declared a state of emergency.
When you're trying to put out a fire, you don't throw oil on it. We don't want to see the kind of activity and loss of life that we saw in the capital just a year ago in Washington.
What is this nigga talking about, loss of life? What the fuck is he talking about? To my knowledge, right? I think somebody might have died, but I'm quite sure nobody fucking died in that situation. The goddamn, you don't throw gas or oil onto a fire. Like, what are you talking about, my nigga? That situation happened because nobody did anything, nigga. What I saw was, first of all, that's two different situations, right? You have a situation, look at the bullshit that they say. You have one situation at the Capitol where people came there specifically to run up in a government building. These people are just protesting, nigga. And like I said earlier, if you try to shut down protests and you try to call people dumb for even protesting, then the next move is to run up in these government buildings. Y'all act like y'all don't want that. But don't sit here and take niggas protesting peacefully and try to equate that in any way. There should never in any way be those two things in the same damn statement being told about on a news network, nigga. This nigga just equated niggas protesting in the street to people who showed up to a Capitol building specifically to infiltrate it. That's two different things. These niggas is tricky, man. And for the average idiot watching this news, they would have been like, oh my God, people in Canada are about to run up in all the Capitol buildings. Cause you stupid, nigga. You not even listening to what these niggas is saying.
The protests are growing in Canada and are continuing to branch out to different locations along the northern border. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau speaking out against the Freedom Convoy while Canadians try to exercise their right to have their voices heard.
Everyone's tired of COVID. But these protests are not the way to get through it.
I'm gonna end that shit right there. Everyone's tired of COVID. This nigga all fucking dramatic and shit. These niggas is not outside protesting COVID, dickhead. They protesting mandates. You see how nobody is really talking about what the real issue is? It's mandates. Fucking mandates. These niggas is over here. No, everyone's tired of COVID. But these protests, you see how I say these protests like it's a real problem. These protests are not the... What are the protests doing? Because you see, this is the thing I keep saying. They're not saying anything bad is happening. They not saying that. And we already see most niggas is in the trucks. Most niggas is in the trucks until they break away from that footage to show you what looks like a bunch of people with signs partying. You got two different images. You got the far away images, which is always just trucks. And then they cut in between that and a bunch of like young niggas just jumping around. You know what I'm saying? Looking like they having a time of their life. I don't even feel like those is both the same thing. But the fact that this nigga is talking about the protests are not gonna solve the COVID-19 problem, that's silly, nigga. Because that's not why they out there. How about you, the prime minister, or whatever the fuck these niggas got in Canada? How about you talk about the fact that y'all niggas trying to mandate something? Y'all trying to mandate something. And I'm quite sure if niggas talking about a Canadian mandate, ain't they talking about the whole country? Like the last video just had a nigga, one of the anchors or the fucking Bloomberg correspondent talking about some, we can't even do that because most of the laws are provisional. Nigga, ain't they protesting the federal mandate? Like, what are you talking about, my nigga? If the federal government can mandate something, right? I'm done with this shit. I'm going to the next one. This shit aggravating. This why it's pure confusion. I need my day one anger for these silly niggas. This is COVID-19 vaccine for kids 5 and under could be authorized in February. I only put this shit up because when this was posted, it was already February. It was already February, nigga. It was already fucking February. A couple of days before that, the news headlines was Pfizer seeking emergency authorization for COVID-19 vaccine for kids under 5. They were seeking emergency clearance, emergency authorization, right? My argument there was niggas said that kids ain't getting sick, and that has been the statement since the beginning. What I feel now is that a bunch of kids is about to start getting sick, or at least that's what the news is about to start pushing, because they now need people to go against what they've been told the entire time this shit has been out. The entire time. Now it needs to be, oh shit, out of nowhere, a bunch of kids under 5, they got COVID. Nigga said, what the fuck are you talking about, nigga? We been with this shit for 2 years now. For 2 years, nigga. We been sitting with this shit for 2 years and you've been telling us the whole time kids ain't getting sick. But now y'all got a vaccine coming out because y'all just want to get everybody vaccinated, even if they not at high risk for nothing. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. That's like, I already did this shit before. That's like if you gonna tell a nigga, man, take insulin just in case. I don't got diabetes. Well, just take it. But I'm not even at risk for diabetes. Nigga, we don't care. You come in this bitch and you take this insulin. Fuck your own. This is really what it is. Fuck your own insulin that your body make naturally. We don't give a fuck about that. You come in here, regardless of if you got diabetes or not, regardless of if the shit run in your family, you come in here and you get this insulin shot. Nigga said, but that shit gonna kill me, right? If I just take insulin, we don't know and we don't care. We ain't do too much testing. We just want you to come get this shit. Come get it, nigga. It's free. You know what I'm saying? That's the exact same thing that's going on. Once again, Spotify, I'm not saying the vaccine is gonna kill niggas. I'm saying, you gotta talk to these niggas now. What I'm saying is, these niggas is trying to mandate shit, and these niggas don't do no testing on it, right? And we already know that the FDA don't do no real testing. They let the companies do the testing themselves, right? This shit gonna come out in February though.
The FDA could expand the use of Pfizer's vaccine to children ages 6 months to 5 years by the end of February.
And this comes after the company submitted a request for emergency use authorization. But there are still questions that families have on how many doses will be required. Team 12's Josh Sanders looks ahead at what parents need to know.
My thoughts are always about them. My choices are always about them and their well-being, their happiness, their safety.
Valley nurse Rachel Guthrie would do anything to keep her 3 kids, all under the age of 5, healthy and protected against COVID-19.
Scary going into work these days. The numbers are definitely rising. We've had to make routine changes. We'll change before I leave the hospital, obviously shower before I get home and interact with the kids.
I don't know where this woman is at, but this shit was a couple days ago, right? I was just watching the news earlier, and these niggas said that the COVID numbers is down 75%. The number of new cases is down 75%. Or 70. It was 70 to 75%. How the fuck is that the numbers now? That's the data now, but 2 days ago this shit came out. 2 days ago, you still got a woman saying the numbers is definitely rising. Why is there conflicting stories all day? Right? This shit don't make sense, son. This shit is very fucking confusing. How could you have that statement and then the next statement? You wanna know why? Because this statement right here is trying to get you to understand that you need to get your child vaccinated regardless of what age they are, because the numbers are always going up until we talking about some next shit, and then they not going up no more. Then we could tell slight truths.
Pfizer Biotech recently submitted their emergency use authorization to the FDA for kids 6 months to 5 years old. The vaccine could be available for young kids in a matter of weeks, with the agency's advisory committee reviewing the data on February 15th.
I try to liken it to the other childhood vaccines that we have.
I try to liken it to the other. You try to liken it. Why you gotta try, nigga? How come it's just not just like the other vaccines? What are you trying for? I don't even know who this nigga is, son. These niggas, I got 2 weird ass niggas on my screen. A nigga with a blurred out background and like a Johnny Bravo haircut, and some Alexander Hamilton fucking writer. I don't know that nigga name. Lin-Manuel or whatever that nigga name is. Some Alexander Hamilton ass nigga on the other side of the school. Who are these niggas, son? He like to liken it to the other childhood vaccines. As I said before, I don't trust them shits either, nigga. I don't trust none of this shit. The motherfucking medical community, these niggas try to pressure you into getting these things. These niggas be dead acting like, hey, yo, your kid gonna die. If you don't get this shit for your kid gonna die. And then, if you don't believe that shit, then when it's time for your kid to go to school, then they shut all that shit down. They say, fuck your beliefs, and fuck the fact that we have not told you any real details about anything. Now your kid need this to even come into the building. So then you like, oh shit, I got decisions to make. Now I guess it's not gonna hurt them, so they should just get it. I guess so. You know, cancer is a thing, right? Not saying that shit causes cancer, but cause for Spotify, right? But has anybody looked at the date we started vaccinating all children and the fucking increase in cancer rates? You know what I'm saying? These are things. This is the thing about research, right? If you don't think to research something and that could be the problem, then we'll never fucking know. You know what I'm saying? If nobody's asking these questions, right? If nobody's like me, right? I be talking all about this industrial revolution and the technological revolution, right? If niggas ain't looking at the fact that the increase in bullshit we don't need ended up leading, you know what I'm saying? Not ended up, but because we don't want to make them connections because Spotify, right? So if you telling me we got an influx of bullshit that we don't need that creates a bunch of nonsense that fucks up the air and the water and the food, right? And then at the same time, you got a steady increase in cancer rates going up. How come niggas don't look at that as the same problem, right? Nobody's gonna look into this to see if one thing caused the other. We're not gonna look into it. Let's see the rest of the nonsense Johnny Bravo and Alexander Hamilton got to say and shit.
Dr. Gary Kirklis says parents have entrusted their children's care to pediatricians before the COVID-19 pandemic, and people have benefited from childhood vaccines for decades.
We don't see kids in wheelchairs due to polio. This is another safe and effective vaccine that we have that can dramatically decrease your risk for hospitalization and getting the infection in the first place.
We don't see children in wheelchairs because of polio. These niggas, didn't I tell you? These niggas love going back to that polio shit. Does anybody, whoever the fuck listens to this shit, do you know what polio is? Do you know what polio does? For these niggas to be talking about polio the entire time I've been alive, it's a fucking problem that I don't know what polio is, son. I don't know what that shit is. I don't know what that shit is. I don't even know nobody who ever thought of having polio. I don't know nobody who was ever walking outside like, oh shit, might catch that polio. Is that shit some viral infection? Is it an infection? Is it a disease? Can you catch this shit from the air? You know what I'm saying? I don't know none of that information, son. I don't know none of that information. What I do know is a lot of this shit was popping off when the world was very dirty, right? Because niggas only care about money, right? Niggas lost all forms of sanitation in the world because niggas was too worried about fucking money. And then at the same time, everybody was going to war for a bunch of bullshit. Everybody going to war. The food ain't right. The food ain't getting to people. The medicine is being damn near reserved for motherfucking army people. Filth all over the goddamn earth. But niggas is over here talking about polio. The vaccines. This nigga started off the statement with vaccines have been benefiting people for decades. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We don't fucking know that. We don't know that. Y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying? The correlate. If I can't look at the Industrial Revolution and say that's the reason why cancer rates is so high, then how can you look at a vaccine and say that's the reason why niggas ain't got polio? That's the reason. Once again, we don't know how polio work as regular people. We don't even know if that's something you could catch, nigga. I don't think you can just catch polio. I don't think that's something you can just catch, my nigga. I can't say that shit enough. Now I gotta look this shit up in a minute. I don't care about polio because these niggas is silly, man. Now, what they started off the whole segment with was parents have concerns. How many doses are they going to have to get? Now, let's finish this video off to see if any of those questions are answered.
But trust has become fleeting with the amount of disinformation surrounding the vaccines. A new survey from the Kaiser Family Foundation found only 3 in 10 parents say they'll get their kids the shot in that age group right away.
This nigga just cut the man off to say, people aren't getting... This shit is fucking stupid.
Your risk for hospitalization and getting the infection in the first place.
But trust has become fleeting with the amount of disinformation.
Trust has become fleeting with the amount of disinformation. You see how niggas say something and they make the conclusion for you. Stop talking about this disinformation, son. Y'all not allowing anybody to say anything else, so that fucking statement has to go out the window. And then, once again, does he mention the disinformation? Just like with the Joe Rogan shit. He's not going to say anything about disinformation. This nigga just said, trust is fleeting because of disinformation. It can never be about the fact that you just heard about this shit early or late January, and then in February, now these niggas is seeking emergency approval, which is going to be, it's going to start the approval process by February 15th. So that the children can have it in their system by the end of February, nigga. It's not the fact that y'all niggas have created something and y'all about to get it tested and approved and given to the people in less than a month. That's not the problem. It's the disinformation. It's the disinformation that's nowhere on earth at this point. It's the disinformation that niggas is getting kicked off of social media for. You know what I'm saying? It's never about the real fucking issues that people actually worry about. These niggas is crazy. And then the next thing he say is 1 out of 3 people or some shit like, let me go to make sure, nigga. I gotta make sure. Oh, 3 in 10. I was mad wrong. That shit was 3 out of 10. My bad. This should say 3 in 10 parents planning on vaccinating their kid right away. Who the fuck took this survey, son? Who the fuck took this survey? That's a weird ass survey, my nigga. If this shit, niggas, February 10th, right? I've been hearing about this shit for the past 2 weeks or something like that. If this process just got started, when did y'all ask these niggas this question? When was this question going around? Y'all telling me y'all niggas just randomly woke up one day and was like, let me walk around and see how many parents is gonna get this vaccine for their kids as soon as it come out. That's a weird fucking question, son. And then it's 3 in 10. But what he not gonna do is tell us why only 3 in 10 want their child vaccinated right away. He's not gonna say anything about that. He already said the spark words: disinformation, vaccine, polio, help prevent hospitalization, prevent you from getting it. I don't gotta go through the points no more. If y'all niggas been listening to this shit, you understand exactly what the fuck a purpose of a vaccine is and how stupid everything this nigga said just was. Fucking disinformation. What happened to misinformation? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? Misinformation alludes to the fact that something might be wrong. Disinformation is straight up telling you anything that's being said that's not what we saying is not even information, nigga. It's the opposite of, because misinformation ain't the opposite of information, nigga. Disinformation is the very opposite of information. It's like you trying to trick niggas. Niggas is talking like you trying to trick niggas. Like if you saying anything other than what they saying, you trying to trick niggas like you some kind of magician, nigga. How the fuck can I disinformation? How can I disinformation, nigga? Any information is information. It just depends upon if the bitch is right or not, which we don't know because we not hearing about this disinformation, and y'all niggas is not telling us what the disinformation is on y'all little platforms. So we just
other people's shit.
Yeah, we just left to be confused, nigga, because nobody wants to talk about COVID in any other way except for niggas that show up on Joe Rogan and y'all trying to murder this nigga. Come on, son.
Of course, parents are going to need reassurance. So I always tell my parents, have a trusted conversation with your pediatrician, have all your questions answered. They're their resource, that they're there for that specific purpose. So use them.
He said, go to your pediatrician. Of course, parents are going to have concerns. So just go to your pediatrician and ask them questions. Nigga, the pediatrician is going to tell me everything you saying. If I don't trust you, why would I trust a person who's just going to tell me everything that you telling me? I don't trust you, nigga. And if you have all the information, am I to believe, if you have all the information and this is what the fuck y'all niggas doing with explaining things, this is how y'all explain things? Niggas just said at the beginning, parents have concerns. He has not said one thing to assure parents that getting the vaccine is not going to be a problem. This nigga brought up polio, which we don't have no evidence on nothing, right? Remember, we don't have data on how many people got vaccinated. We don't have data on how quick polio wasn't a problem anymore. We just know they said polio was here. It was making kids have wheelchairs. And then we put a vaccine out. And then there was no more polio. That's all these niggas are saying, son. That's all these niggas are saying. But there's no logical sequence of events. Like if we was watching a movie and the shit started and then now you at the end credits. This shit don't make no damn sense. I'm confused. I'm fucking confused. I told your ass they wasn't gonna say not one damn thing to actually answer any questions. These niggas did all this talking just to at the end be like, well shit, we ain't gonna say nothing. You gotta go to your pediatrician. I go to my pediatrician. I got ends in this fight, nigga. I've been back and forth to the hospital trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with my body, and these niggas can't tell me. These niggas can't tell me. So I don't understand why niggas look at doctors and nurses like these niggas is the be-all and end-all of human fucking anatomy, nigga. These niggas don't know what the fuck they doing. These niggas is guessing. Remember back in the day, right? Back in the day, before all of our time. Remember when they killed George Washington, nigga? Remember when the doctors killed George Washington, my nigga? How they killed George Washington? These niggas just kept bleeding them. These niggas just kept letting his blood out of his body until he eventually died from that. This nigga had something like fucking pneumonia or something. I can't remember what it was. But this nigga had something like pneumonia, son. And these niggas came through and just kept letting his blood out of his body until he fucking died, son. This is medicine. This is the healthcare situation or the fucking hospital. I don't know what the fuck you call it. The medical field. These niggas is constantly guessing that shit. These niggas is guessing that shit, son. If I go back and forth to the hospital with problems that seem serious, but I can't get no definitive answer on what's going on. And them niggas send me back home with the same problem, right? And then I come in the next time, and most of the time, these niggas don't even look at my records, nigga. I know that because if they looked at my records, they wouldn't be treating this shit the same way. They wouldn't treat the shit the same way. It wasn't until I got to a specific ass doctor, I had to go to a specialist in the same building for me to one time hear a doctor tell me how many times I've been in that bitch for the same problem. If I go to the emergency room, do these niggas tell me anything? These niggas don't tell me nothing. When I go to my primary care doctor, do this bitch care about how many times I've been in her office telling her I have the same ass problem? What she gonna do? She gonna give me some more fucking medicine, nigga. She's not gonna tell me any information about what's going on with me. She's gonna give me some medicine that's supposed to stop the symptoms of something. But if you having concerns, even though we just spent this whole time acting like we was gonna give you some answers, right? We just want you to go to your pediatrician who did research. No, they didn't, nigga. What the doctors got, right? Because keep in mind, this shit came out after niggas done already went to school and became doctors. So you telling me now the doctors is doing the research? Sounds to me like the CDC and the FDA and Pfizer is the niggas doing the research, right? And then they just input it into the system and then the doctors go, okay, so this is what COVID is and we have to watch out for this, nigga. Doctors don't even have all the same information. Keep in mind, I just said something about a specialist, nigga. What does a pediatrician specialize in? Children. That's it. They specialize in helping children to a certain extent. Are these niggas experts in viral infections? No, nigga. Are these niggas experts in new viral infections? No, nigga. So what the fuck are you saying to me? Got a couple more seconds in this stupid shit.
Rachel's answer, getting her kids vaccinated as soon as the shot is approved.
Pediatricians that I work with on a daily basis all are for this vaccine. Why not give them that protection? We are all in. We are excited.
Remember how we not supposed to use anecdotal evidence for shit? I don't even know who this lady is. Like, I thought she was the one who was going to be talking, but no, we just needed a nice face to come on the screen with a couple children, tell us that she works in the medical field and she loves her children and she'll do anything for them, and everybody at her job is they believe in the vaccine. That's anecdotal as fuck, nigga. You have not given me one. We are talking about something being produced, tested, approved, and distributed in a matter of weeks, nigga. That shit is scary, nigga. If you not afraid of some shit, when I just said that shit, I said created, tested, fucking approved, and distributed all from like February 5th to February, 29th, nigga? Because he said by the end of February. February end real quick, nigga. You going through 4 steps of getting the medicine distributed in the shortest fucking month of the year? And this is the information we get. We get blonde lady on screen telling us everybody at her job believe in the vaccine that isn't even out yet, nigga. How could you believe in it when Pfizer is still the only niggas who have it? Pfizer is the only niggas who have it. You don't even have any data on it. Keep in mind what we talking about. She just said that everybody she know that's a pediatrician is for the vaccine when they can't possibly have any experience with the vaccine because the shit hasn't come out yet. Once again, keep in mind that if the vaccine was exactly the same, then children would have been able to get it when everybody else got it. That's it. That's it. So we know just from that fact alone that there has to be something different with it. If there's something different with it, then you can't take any previous data and use that shit for something that's new. It's been altered in some way to be able to be given to kids. These niggas haven't even answered how many shots yet. Let's go to the end so I keep complaining and get off this bitch.
The FDA is expected to sign off on 3 doses for kids under the age of 5, but regulators believe that 2 doses will provide enough protection while that decision is being made. Josh Sanders, 12 News.
Okay, there we go. They got to it. They literally got to that shit at the very end of the segment. They said all that bullshit, and then by the end of it, they saying 3 doses, but they saying 2. They saying 2. Who? Let's go back real quick.
The FDA is expected to sign off on 3 doses for kids under the age of 5, but regulators believe that 2 doses will provide enough protection while that decision is being made.
Now I'm confused again. The FDA is about to sign off on 3 doses, but regulators think 2 doses should be fine? Who the fuck are the regulators? Is that an official term? Who are these people, son? Because if the regulators are the niggas that made the medicine, then wouldn't they know best how many doses you should need? This niggas just asked how many doses. That was the initial question. That was the only initial question that was supposed to give the parents something to hold on to. And these niggas ain't even got a definitive answer. How the fuck you seeking approval for something and you want it to be done in an emergency fashion to where you want this shit done by the end of the month, but we can't even get a solidified answer on how many doses it is, nigga? If you seeking approval for it, that should mean that the bitch is ready, right? If the bitch is ready, you should know how many doses you about to give out to the people. Not know the FDA about to sign off on something, but the regulators, and you don't even tell us who the regulators is, Josh. You ain't telling us that, nigga. Oh, Johnny Bravo in the head looking ass motherfucker. But these niggas is trying to approve this shit. 2 or 3 doses. We don't know right now. Just probably 2 or 3. Don't ask us too many questions, nigga. Go talk to your pediatrician before they even came in contact with the goddamn vaccine. They don't got no information, but go talk to them niggas. So they could look at you in your eye and say, yeah, man, it's the safest thing in the world. Remember polio? Remember you don't have... I can't with this shit. This shit be mad funny to me. Remember you don't have polio? Niggas say, yeah, I remember, but I also don't have cancer right now. And I ain't never taken no cancer vaccine. I also don't have diabetes. And I ain't take no diabetes vaccine. You know what I'm saying? I also don't have Parkinson's. And I ain't take that. Also don't have the flu. And most of the time, motherfuckers don't even be taking the flu vaccine, nigga. The absence of a disease or motherfucking infection, right, does not mean that. Come on, son, with this stupid ass shit. This shit is really stupid, son. Nigga said you took this, so that means you ain't gonna get it. Said, what about the niggas who ain't take that and didn't get it? Oh, them niggas was just lucky. They was lucky. The fuck are you talking about? Are you aware of how an immune system works? Oh, smart ass nigga. You gotta look at these niggas and call them smart like an insult. Say, do you know how the immune system works, you smart ass nigga? You gotta say it with a voice, cause these niggas dead be the smartest niggas on earth, supposedly. But then they say shit that's just dumb. This shit just dumb as hell. Fucking... Don't you know you ain't got polio? Shut your stupid ass up. If I hear one more thing about polio, I'm gonna end up smacking somebody out this bitch. Like I said, we don't know nobody who ever had polio. We don't know nobody who was ever afraid of polio, except for the goddamn government, nigga. And once again, these niggas lie all day, nigga. These niggas lie all day. Remember this nigga Edward Snowden was trying to tell people that they fucking spying on you through your phone and the shit should be illegal, and the government officials were saying this nigga should be killed? Remember that? These are the same people that's giving you this information. The same people remember disinformation, right? We talk about disinformation. The niggas who wanted a person dead for informing the citizens about something the government was doing is now the same people giving you information, not verifying anything, not giving you any details, and turn around saying anybody who's saying anything else is the real niggas giving disinformation. The real niggas giving disinformation. If you don't understand that, then you just lost, nigga. It's motherfucking Lord Mav. It's real nigga news. Everything I just watched was stupid. And I'm out. Peace.
Niggas hit you with that anesthesia, put you to sleep, bruh. You know it's the killer nigga woods where we creep, bruh. You know that my ninja they good, push like a Jeep, bruh. Catching niggas for days, no rest, Mav the Reaper. Muscle memory in my cells, clap like a sleeper. Swim through money, I need a cell, these rivers deeper. My niggas got bars, no better when shit go heater. Hammers banging, we bleed, your bodies everywhere, FEMA.